Feeling overwhelmed by stress? You're not alone. In today's fast-paced world, stress seems inevitable, but how we respond to it can make all the difference. In this video, we're exploring 7 powerful stress relief techniques inspired by Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that helps us manage stress by shifting our mindset. From focusing on what you can control to thinking of stress as an opportunity for growth, these techniques provide lasting solutions that go deeper than quick fixes. No need for hours of meditation or major life changes. Small shifts in your approach can help you stay calm, focused, and in control. Ready to transform your relationship with stress? Let's dive in. Focus only on what you can control. Imagine you're standing in the middle of a raging storm. The wind is howling, rain pelts your face, and chaos surrounds you. You can't stop the storm, but you can choose how you face it. Do you stand frozen, consumed by what you can't control, or do you open your umbrella and move forward? This is the essence of Stoic wisdom. Freedom comes from focusing solely on what lies within your control. Epictetus, one of Stoicism's greatest teachers, put it plainly. Some things are up to us, and some things are not. Your thoughts, actions, and decisions? Those are yours. The opinions of others, the past, or tomorrow's uncertainties? Completely outside your reach. Why does this matter? Because stressing over what you can't control is like trying to calm the sea with your hands. It's exhausting and futile. But when you shift your energy toward what is in your power, you reclaim your peace and agency. Here's how you can start. Make 2 lists. What's in my control? E.g., my attitude, effort, and choices. What's out of my control? E.g., other people's reactions, the weather, or past mistakes. When stress creeps in, check your lists. Redirect your focus to the first one. Use a mantra. When your mind spirals, remind yourself, I release what I cannot control. Repeating this anchors you in calm. Think of the umbrella in the storm. Life will always have storms, but by focusing on what you can control, you create shelter. Each decision to let go of the uncontrollable strengthens your mental resilience. The next time chaos threatens to pull you under, pause. Ask, am I steering my ship or chasing the wind? You might find that the storm isn't as powerful as it seemed. It's your mindset that makes all the difference. Think of stress as an opportunity. Stress, a word that often carries a heavy weight. It conjures images of sleepless nights, racing thoughts, and relentless pressure. Most of us instinctively recoil from stress, viewing it as a villain that disrupts our peace and tests our limits. But what if we flip the script? What if stress wasn't the antagonist of our story but rather a disguised mentor? This shift in perspective can transform your life. Stress, far from being your enemy, can be a powerful catalyst for growth and resilience. The nature of stress. Stress is not inherently negative. It is simply a biological response, your body's way of preparing you to face challenges. The racing heart, the flood of adrenaline, the heightened awareness, all of these are tools your body provides to help you confront obstacles. In small, manageable doses, stress sharpens your focus, boosts your performance, and drives you to accomplish goals. It's only when stress becomes chronic and unchecked that it turns harmful. But this transformation often depends on how you perceive it. Psychologists have found that your attitude towards stress matters as much, if not more, than the stress itself. Viewing stress as harmful makes it more likely to negatively impact your health and well-being. On the other hand, seeing stress as an opportunity reconfigures your response, turning it into a source of strength. Stress as a sculptor. Think of stress as a sculptor, and you as the raw marble. Life's pressures chip away at you, but they also reveal your inner strength and beauty. The cracks and imperfections left behind are not signs of weakness. They are the evidence of your resilience, the marks of a life lived boldly. Every challenge presents a choice. Will you let stress break you, or will you allow it to shape you into something greater? The lessons hidden in stress. Growth through resistance. Stress, much like physical exercise, relies on resistance to build strength. Just as your muscles grow when pushed beyond their comfort zone, your mind and character develop under pressure. Each stressful situation is a workout for your inner resilience. Clarification of priorities. Stress often arises when demands exceed time or resources. It forces you to confront what truly matters, stripping away distractions and focusing your energy on what is essential, revealing hidden strengths. You often don't realize how capable you are until stress demands it. The challenges you face can uncover talents, problem-solving skills, and reservoirs of determination you didn't know existed. Reframing stress, the Stoic approach. The Stoics saw stress as neither good nor bad but as neutral, its value determined by your perspective. They encouraged facing life's pressures with courage and wisdom, understanding that adversity is the forge where greatness is tempered. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This idea is profound. The very obstacle causing stress can become the path to your growth. Stress isn't a roadblock, it's a stepping stone. Practical steps to transform stress into opportunity. Shift your mindset. Begin by changing how you think about stress. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What can I learn from this?" Reframing stress as a challenge rather than a threat sets the stage for growth. Breathe and reflect. When stress hits, pause. Take a deep breath and ground yourself. This moment of stillness creates space for clarity, helping you respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Break it down. Overwhelming stress often stems from the sheer size of a problem. Break it into smaller, manageable tasks. Tackle one piece at a time, and celebrate each small victory. Focus on what you can control. Stress often arises from worrying about the uncontrollable. Redirect your energy toward actions you can take. This shift not only reduces anxiety but also makes you more effective. Seek growth, not perfection. Perfectionism magnifies stress. Instead, focus on progress. Each effort, no matter how small, brings you closer to mastery. Practice gratitude for the challenge. This might sound counterintuitive, but try to be grateful for the stress. It is evidence that you are pushing boundaries, striving for something meaningful, or stepping out of your comfort zone. The science behind the opportunity. Research supports the idea that stress can be beneficial. Studies have shown that short bursts of stress, known as acute stress, enhance memory, focus, and problem-solving skills. It primes your brain for peak performance. Even chronic stress can be mitigated by shifting your mindset. A groundbreaking study at Yale found that people who viewed stress as helpful reported better health, greater life satisfaction, and higher productivity than those who saw it as harmful. Stress as a teacher. Every stressful moment contains a lesson. A tight deadline teaches time management. A difficult conversation develops courage and communication skills. A failure builds humility and perseverance. Stress is the tuition you pay for these invaluable lessons. When you embrace stress as a teacher, you approach challenges with curiosity rather than dread. Instead of shrinking from difficulty, you lean into it, asking, "What is this here to teach me?" Living a bold life. A stress-free life might sound appealing, but it's not where growth happens. A life without challenges is a life without triumphs. By reimagining stress as an opportunity, you invite richness and depth into your experiences. So, the next time you feel the pressure mounting, take a deep breath and remind yourself, this is your chance to grow. Stress isn't here to overwhelm you, it's here to strengthen you. In the end, the greatest opportunities often arrive disguised as stress. Face them boldly, and you'll discover that they are not obstacles but invitations to become your best self. Practice voluntary discomfort, strength in the uncomfortable. Picture this, it's a chilly morning, and instead of cocooning yourself in a warm bed, you step outside, barefoot on the cold grass, letting the bite of the air jolt you awake. Or perhaps you skip a meal, feeling the pangs of hunger gnawing at you, not because you have to, but because you choose to. This is the art of practicing voluntary discomfort. It's not about punishing yourself but about building resilience, clarity, and strength by stepping willingly into life's challenges. The philosophy behind discomfort. The Stoics believed that comfort breeds complacency. By deliberately facing discomfort, they prepared their minds and bodies for inevitable hardships. Seneca, one of Stoicism's great thinkers, advised, "Set aside a certain number of days during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself all the while, 'Is this the condition I feared?'" This practice reframes your relationship with fear and adversity. When you choose discomfort, you make it your ally. You no longer dread it when life imposes it on you. Why embrace voluntary discomfort? Resilience against adversity. When you train yourself to endure discomfort willingly, you strengthen your ability to face unforeseen challenges. You've been there before, and you've thrived. Appreciation for what you have. Experiencing discomfort reminds you of life's luxuries. A warm meal tastes richer after a fast. A soft bed feels heavenly after enduring the hard ground. Detachment from excess. Practicing simplicity teaches you that happiness isn't tied to material comforts. You learn to thrive with less, making you less vulnerable to loss or change. Mastery over fear. Discomfort loses its power when you face it willingly. The fear of cold, hunger, or fatigue diminishes because you've proven to yourself that you can endure them. How to practice voluntary discomfort. Fast occasionally. Skip a meal or go an entire day without eating. Feel the hunger and realize it's not as overwhelming as your mind might have made it seem. Embrace the elements. Walk in the rain without an umbrella, or leave your coat behind on a cold day. Let nature remind you of your resilience. Sleep rough. Spend a night on the floor instead of your bed. Feel the discomfort and notice how quickly your body adapts. Challenge your comfort zone. Take cold showers, wear simpler clothes, or forego conveniences like your car for a day. These small acts rewire your relationship with comfort. Physical exertion. Push your body beyond its usual limits. Run a little farther, lift a little heavier, or endure a little longer. The burn of effort is temporary. The strength it builds is lasting. The mental growth and discomfort. Choosing discomfort isn't just about physical toughness, it's a mental game. Each act of voluntary discomfort rewires your brain, teaching it that you are not controlled by fear, cravings, or habits. It's a declaration: I am stronger than my impulses. Over time, this mindset seeps into every area of life. When faced with a stressful situation, your mind doesn't crumble. It recalls the cold mornings, the skipped meals, the long runs. It knows you can endure. The paradox of voluntary discomfort. Strangely, the more discomfort you face, the more comfortable you become, not in the sense of physical ease but in the assurance that you can handle whatever comes your way. This paradox lies at the heart of the practice. You find peace not by avoiding difficulty but by embracing it. The science of discomfort. Modern psychology and neuroscience support this ancient wisdom. By exposing yourself to controlled stress, whether through fasting, exercise, or cold exposure, you train your brain to stay calm under pressure. Hormetic stress, small, manageable doses of stress, improves resilience, focus, and even health. A life of intentional strength. Practicing voluntary discomfort isn't about living a joyless life. On the contrary, it enhances joy by sharpening your appreciation for comfort and ease. A hot meal, a soft bed, or even a simple day without struggle feels infinitely sweeter when you've experienced the opposite. Challenge yourself. Start small. Skip a meal, take a cold shower, or leave your phone behind for a day. Notice how discomfort challenges you, and notice how you rise to meet it. In the end, voluntary discomfort is about taking control. Life will throw hardships your way, but by practicing them now, you send a clear message: I am ready. You don't need to wait for life to test you. Test yourself. Strengthen your body, steel your mind, and discover the freedom that lies beyond fear. Pause before reacting, the quiet key to mastery. Imagine you're standing at the edge of a vast canyon. A voice echoes across, taunting, accusing, provoking. Every instinct tells you to shout back, to engage in the battle of words. But instead you pause. You take a breath. You listen to the silence that follows. Suddenly, the canyon feels like yours. This is the power of pausing before reacting, a subtle, almost imperceptible act that transforms chaos into clarity, impulse into intention, and anger into mastery. It's a skill, a philosophy, and perhaps one of the most underrated superpowers you can cultivate. Why pausing changes everything. At its heart, pausing creates a buffer between stimulus and response. Without this pause, we're like marionettes, jerked around by emotions, habits, and the actions of others. With the pause, we seize the strings. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When you pause, you assert this principle. You step back from automatic reactions, whether it's anger, fear, or frustration, and instead, you consciously choose your response. This tiny moment of stillness is where your freedom lies. The ripple effect of pausing. It prevents regret. How often do we say or do things in anger, only to wish we could take them back? Pausing protects us from decisions driven by fleeting emotions. It gives perspective. The initial rush of emotion clouds judgment. A pause clears the fog, allowing us to see the situation as it is, not as our feelings distort it. It demonstrates strength. Reacting impulsively is easy, restraint is hard. A pause signals self-control and earns respect, both from others and yourself. It restores inner peace. By pausing, you prioritize your calm over the chaos around you. It's a reminder that no one has the power to disturb your peace unless you let them. The anatomy of a pause. Breathe. The simplest, most powerful tool at your disposal is your breath. When you feel triggered, inhale deeply. This single action calms your nervous system, slows your racing thoughts, and gives you space to think. Count. A classic method, count to 3, 5, or even 10 before responding. The act of counting distracts your mind from the emotional surge, creating the mental space you need. Ask yourself questions. What am I really reacting to? Is this worth my energy? What outcome do I want here? These questions guide you away from knee-jerk reactions toward thoughtful, intentional responses. Visualize the long view. Imagine looking back on this moment a week, a year, or even a decade from now. How important will it seem? This mental time travel often shrinks the problem into perspective. Why pausing feels like a superpower. When you master the pause, you become unshakable. You're no longer at the mercy of others' provocations or your own emotions. Instead, you hold the reins. In a heated argument, the pause disarms the other person. They expect retaliation, but instead, they're met with calm. In a moment of panic, the pause restores your composure, allowing you to act rationally. In every situation, the pause reminds you, I am in control. The science behind the pause. Modern neuroscience backs up what the Stoics intuitively understood. When we're triggered, the amygdala, the brain's emotional center, takes over, sending us into fight or flight mode. Pausing activates the prefrontal cortex, the rational part of the brain, enabling thoughtful decisions. The pause isn't just a spiritual exercise, it's a neurological hack. Building the habit of pausing. Practice micro-pauses. Start with small moments, before sending a heated email, before speaking in a tense conversation, or even before answering the phone. Reflect on past reactions. Think of a time you overreacted. How might a pause have changed the outcome? Use this reflection to motivate future pauses. Meditate. Mindfulness meditation trains you to observe your thoughts and emotions without immediately acting on them, a skill that naturally strengthens your ability to pause in daily life. The freedom in stillness. In a world that constantly demands instant reactions, texts, tweets, arguments, the pause is an act of rebellion. It's a way of saying, I refuse to be a slave to circumstance. I choose my response, my peace, my power. The next time life pushes your buttons, remember, you are not a machine. You are not bound to react. Take a breath. Take a moment. Take the reins. Daily negative visualization, the art of preparing for life's challenges. Imagine starting each day by envisioning things going wrong, your plans faltering, your possessions being lost, or even the people you love slipping away. At first glance, this might seem like a pessimistic or even morbid practice. But for the Stoics, this exercise, known as negative visualization, is a cornerstone of living a resilient and meaningful life. Far from wallowing in despair, It's about finding strength, gratitude, and clarity in the face of life's uncertainties. Negative visualization isn't about expecting the worst but about preparing for it, and in doing so, transforming how you experience the present. The essence of negative visualization. Negative visualization is a mental rehearsal of potential misfortunes. You reflect on life's fragility. What if I lost my job? What if this friendship ended? What if I woke up tomorrow without the comforts I take for granted? This isn't a practice to induce anxiety but to cultivate awareness. By confronting these thoughts, you reduce the shock of unexpected setbacks, appreciate what you have, and fortify yourself against future hardships. Seneca, one of Stoicism's great thinkers, encapsulated this idea. He robs present ills of their power who has perceived their coming beforehand. When you've already considered what could go wrong, you're not paralyzed by fear when challenges arise. Instead, you are grounded, prepared, and composed. Why practice negative visualization? Building emotional resilience. Life is unpredictable. No matter how carefully you plan, obstacles and losses are inevitable. Negative visualization trains you to face these moments with equanimity. Like a mental vaccine, it exposes you to small doses of discomfort, making you stronger and more adaptable. Heightened gratitude. When you imagine life without something or someone you cherish, you recognize its value more deeply. What once seemed ordinary, a morning coffee, a loved one's presence, or even your health, suddenly feels precious. This practice awakens gratitude for what is often overlooked. Freedom from fear. Fear of loss can be paralyzing. By regularly confronting the worst-case scenarios, you strip them of their power. The unknown becomes known, and fear diminishes. You are no longer shackled by what might happen but are liberated to fully engage with life as it is. Sharper decision-making. When you visualize potential challenges, you can better anticipate their impact and prepare accordingly. This foresight sharpens your ability to make decisions that are aligned with your values and goals. How to practice negative visualization. Morning reflection. Begin your day by setting aside a few quiet moments. Think of something you value, a possession, a relationship, a goal, and imagine it being taken away. How would it feel? How would you cope? Let the visualization sink in, then return to the present with a renewed appreciation for what you have. Specific scenarios. Focus on realistic challenges. A difficult meeting at work. An argument with a friend. A day where nothing goes as planned. Picture yourself navigating these moments with grace. This not only prepares you for adversity but also equips you with a calm mindset. Evening reflection. At the end of the day, revisit the events that unfolded. Were there moments you took for granted? Reflect on how things could have been worse and find gratitude for the blessings, however small, that remain. Journaling. Write down your visualizations. Journaling helps clarify your thoughts and offers a tangible record of your evolving perspective. Over time, you'll notice a shift, less anxiety, more gratitude, and a growing sense of control over your reactions. A paradox of happiness. Negative visualization may seem counterintuitive to the pursuit of happiness, but it's remarkably effective. By imagining loss, you heighten your awareness of life's richness. When you take nothing for granted, you experience even the simplest moments as profound gifts. The Stoics understood this paradox. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often reminded himself of life's impermanence, not to dwell on sorrow but to savor each fleeting moment. In reflecting on potential loss, he found a deeper appreciation for the present. The science behind it. Modern psychology validates the Stoics' wisdom. Studies on mental contrasting, a technique similar to negative visualization, show that visualizing potential obstacles increases resilience and motivation. By confronting difficulties mentally, you're less likely to be blindsided by them in reality. Additionally, practicing gratitude, a natural byproduct of negative visualization, is linked to improved mental health, stronger relationships, and greater life satisfaction. A life lived fully. Negative visualization is not about being consumed by worry or dwelling in sadness. It's about living fully and consciously. It reminds you that everything you hold dear, your health, your relationships, your possessions, exists in a delicate balance. This awareness doesn't lead to despair, it leads to deeper connection and appreciation. You hug a little tighter, speak a little kinder, and approach each day with a quiet reverence. By envisioning life's uncertainties, you embrace its impermanence. And in doing so, you free yourself from fear and learn to cherish the present with newfound clarity and gratitude. Live in the now, embracing the power of the present moment. Imagine standing on the edge of a cliff, watching the sun dip below the horizon. The sky is painted in hues of pink and orange, and the air feels crisp, carrying with it the whispers of a gentle breeze. In this moment, time seems to stretch out, as if the world has paused, and everything is exactly as it should be. The worries of yesterday, the anxieties of tomorrow, none of that matters here. You are simply present. This is what it means to truly live in the now, a practice that may seem elusive in today's fast-paced, hyper-connected world, but one that the Stoics and many great thinkers have long championed. The timeless wisdom of living in the now. At its core, living in the now is about fully embracing the present moment without the distraction of past regrets or future worries. The Stoics, especially figures like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius, understood the importance of living in the present. They taught that our true power lies not in what has happened or what might happen, but in how we respond to the here and now. Marcus Aurelius, in his meditations, often reminded himself, "Don't waste time on what you cannot control. Focus on what is in front of you now, and do it well." For the Stoics, life was an ongoing exercise in focusing on the present, because this is where our actions, thoughts, and decisions unfold. The past is beyond our reach, and the future is uncertain. All we truly have is the present moment. The illusion of past and future. One of the greatest distractions we face today is the constant pull of the past and the future. We replay old mistakes, agonize over what could have been, and fret over what is yet to come. But in doing so, we rob ourselves of the power to shape our present. The past, however painful, is just a memory. It has already happened, and no amount of dwelling on it can change its course. Similarly, the future is merely a projection, an imagined scenario that may or may not come to pass. Focusing too heavily on what might happen only feeds into anxiety, fear, and uncertainty. The key to peace, then, is in relinquishing the illusion that we can control the past or predict the future. The power of the present moment. The present moment is the only space where we can create, act, and experience life in its fullness. When we fully embrace the now, we become acutely aware of the richness of each moment, whether it's a simple cup of coffee, a conversation with a friend, or a quiet walk in nature. These moments are fleeting, and if we don't take the time to savor them, they will slip by unnoticed. In fact, modern research in mindfulness and meditation has shown that living in the now, practicing mindfulness, can have profound effects on mental health. It reduces stress, improves focus, and even enhances emotional well-being. By paying attention to the present, we increase our ability to connect with our surroundings, our thoughts, and the people in our lives. But there's a deeper, philosophical element to living in the now. It's about accepting life as it is. The present moment is where we can exercise control. It's the space where we choose how to respond to challenges, where we decide who we want to be, and where we find meaning in our lives. How to live in the now. So, how do we cultivate the art of living in the now? It starts with practice and intention. Here are a few ways to bring the present moment into sharper focus. Mindful breathing. One of the simplest and most powerful ways to center yourself in the now is through mindful breathing. Take a few moments each day to pause, close your eyes, and pay attention to your breath. Feel the rise and fall of your chest, the air filling your lungs, the sensations in your body. This practice instantly grounds you in the present and helps to calm the mind. Letting go of distractions. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. Phones, social media, constant notifications, these all pull us away from the present moment. Try setting aside time each day to be distraction-free, whether it's for a few minutes of reflection or an entire hour. Focus entirely on whatever you're doing, without multitasking or letting your mind wander. Engage fully in your activities. Whatever task you're performing, do it with your full attention. Whether it's work, exercise, or spending time with loved ones, focus completely on the task at hand. Instead of thinking about what you have to do next, give all of yourself to the current moment. The more you practice this, the more you will find that time feels fuller, richer, and more meaningful. Gratitude for the present. One of the most powerful ways to live in the now is through gratitude. Instead of focusing on what's missing in your life or what you hope to achieve, take time each day to appreciate what is already here. Feel gratitude for the simple things, the warmth of the sun, a good meal, or the laughter of a friend. This shifts your attention from what could be to what already is. Challenge future anxiety. When you catch yourself worrying about the future, pause and ask yourself, what can I do about this right now? The answer is often very little, because much of the future is beyond our control. Shift your focus back to what you can influence today, whether it's taking a small step toward a goal, solving a problem, or simply being present with what is. The paradox of living in the now. Living in the now doesn't mean neglecting your future or ignoring your past. In fact, it's the opposite. When you fully embrace the present, you're better equipped to make wise decisions for the future and learn from the past. You approach life with clarity, not from a place of fear or regret. You see challenges as they are, just temporary moments in time that will pass. In this way, living in the now gives you a deep sense of freedom. You're no longer enslaved by the weight of the past or the anxiety of the future. Instead, you move through life with a quiet confidence, knowing that every moment is an opportunity to choose how you respond, to grow, and to be fully alive. Living in the now as a path to fulfillment. Living in the now is not a one-time achievement, but an ongoing practice. It's about creating a relationship with time where you no longer feel rushed or pressured, but instead, find peace in each passing moment. It's in this space, this sweet intersection of awareness and presence, that true fulfillment resides. As the Stoics taught, the present moment is where we find our power. When we live in the now, we tap into the only real source of freedom we have. And in that freedom, we discover a life of purpose, joy, and meaning. Let go of attachment to outcomes, embrace the journey, not just the result. Imagine climbing a mountain. The summit is the goal, but along the way, there are rocky paths, unexpected detours, and moments of doubt. If you only fixate on the top, you might miss the beauty of the journey, the lessons in each step, and the strength you gain along the way. Letting go of attachment to outcomes is about recognizing that while goals are important, they do not define your worth or happiness. The Stoics believe that we can control only our actions, not the results. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, wrote, "Focus on the action, not the outcome." When we detach from outcomes, we release the anxiety of needing things to turn out a specific way. Instead, we place our focus on the effort and process, knowing that each moment contributes to our growth, regardless of the end result. This mindset frees us from frustration and disappointment, allowing us to move through life with grace, openness, and resilience. The key is not to stop striving for success but to embrace a deeper peace that comes from knowing that whatever happens, you will continue to grow, adapt, and learn. Letting go of attachment to outcomes also brings a profound sense of freedom. When we release the need for specific results, we open ourselves to the possibility of unexpected joys and opportunities. Often, the path to our goals is full of twists we didn't foresee, and by letting go of rigid expectations, we allow life to unfold more naturally. This doesn't mean we abandon our aspirations, but rather, we approach them with a sense of detachment, confident that whether we succeed or fail, the experience itself holds value. By focusing on what we can control, our actions and mindset, we cultivate a deeper, more enduring sense of fulfillment that's independent of external circumstances. Choose your mindset, and choose your response. Stoic philosophy teaches us that true peace comes from within, not from avoiding challenges. By focusing on what you can control, embracing the present moment, and letting go of attachment to outcomes, you take a powerful step toward mastering your inner world. Each small effort you make brings you closer to becoming the resilient, grounded person you're meant to be. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content that empowers you to live with wisdom and purpose. Stay calm, stay strong, and we'll see you next time.